Hey guys, welcome to our crazy RV. So glad you're here. It's finally here. We have Starlink for our RV. So this video is going to be all about us setting it up. I haven't looked at it. I haven't, other than watching a couple videos about coverage, I haven't actually looked at how to set it up or anything like that. So this is completely blind. I'm going to, first impressions, unboxing. End up with a big piece of cardboard on top. Very cool, not really necessary. Another big piece of plastic. Okay, so the first piece we got here is our base. And then we have the dish itself. And the instructions are quite simple. Set up dish. Which way does this go in? It goes in this way. Nice. So there's our dish. It only gets set up one way. So, and here's our internal receiver, which is quite small. It's actually kind of dirty as far as the dust and stuff that's on it. Okay, so it plugs in on the bottom, and then there's another plug-in on the bottom of this. So now the question is, where in the world am I going to put this? So now I have to get this cord hooked up to this dish, and that be somewhere where it's unobstructed. They do have the Starlink app that you use, and then you can connect via Wi-Fi. So the process is really quite simple. And this has a short power cord as well. It's not very long. And I have an idea of where I want to put this. I just have no idea how I'm going to run all of this yet. So this is going to be an adventure. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set it up the way I think that I'm going to set it up. And then we're going to see after that exactly what we're looking at. And there's no connections to this at all. It's just you connect this to this, you plug it in. There's no cables out, is what I mean. So whatever devices you're planning on hooking up to this, you need to have Wi-Fi for it. Based on what I'm seeing right here, I don't think there's anything else in the box. No, the box is completely empty, so that's it. So all that comes in the box is these things right here. Some instructions, plug it in, point it at the sky, use your app to make sure there's nothing in the way. However, first steps first, I do have an idea of where I think that I would like to put this. However, it looks like you have to set this up every single time. So, with that being said, it would be better if it was set up in a location where you could plug it in and take it out. I'm sure they do have, what would be really great is if they actually included some sort of box that you could put on your camper, and then this would plug into that box on the outside, and then they'd have a cable on the inside that you could run to your router. Then you could actually just put a hole in the side of your camper, and that would be amazing, Starlink, if maybe someone has that already. Okay, so obviously the running of the cable is going to be our biggest issue here. And I do have a thought on that. I know that they have these routers for running cables, and that is an idea. However, I have another idea, because the place I want to put it is basically where our TV kind of sits. It's going to sit basically in the middle of the RV. And from there, I can run down and get to where the furnace is. Now, why that's important is there's actually quite a bit of dead space down there. And I can stick to one side and I can poke out through the wall and end up in our basement, which this could be stored in. And then it would just be a matter of pulling the cable out. And on the front of the RV, typically you have a lot of room. If the truck is sitting there, potentially I could put it on top of the truck, or I can get out to a side or to a side. So, and that when we're sitting can be left open, and in that way, and typically the bugs don't go in there because there's no reason for them to go in there, so they wouldn't be making it into the RV. I could seal it up anyways. So that is the avenue that I'm going to test out to see if I can make this happen. It's like a lot of work. Okay, let's get this done. So this hose that you see here, it actually goes through the wall and into our basement. So I'm wondering, how hard is it to sneak something through there? I'm going to clean out our basement and then take a look at that option, because it's pretty far away. And then I can run to the right and just make some holes and go straight up to where we need to be. Do see a spot in here where the previous owner tried to seal it up, but obviously we need to tape it again. Okay, so here's in our basement, and here's the other side of that pipe. So I could just come through the wall into here. Ideally, it would be nice to run that through something. So maybe I'll try to find a hose of some kind that can just go on. I can cut that hose, and its sole purpose will just be there to protect it from getting cut, because there's this edge is sharp. So I think I'm going to do that. This will significantly cut into my basement space, but I think this will work. Okay, so we had to do some impromptu farming, and I had an impromptu grease gun explode all over me. So anyways, all done, and we're ready and back to run this through. Okay, so what I've done here is I'm going to run through from the basement in through the wall, and I also cut a 3/8 fuel hose, which was new, I had not used. So I cut it, and then I cut it down the middle, slid it over top, and put electrical tape on it. So that's going to go through the wall, which will protect it from getting dings or getting cuts or things like that. That's the plan. So next step, we're going to run this through the wall and see if this will actually work or not. Now the plan is to run right next to this hose, and I know that it does get warm when there's warm air coming through it, but that's also why the fuel line will help protect the wire. So all right, let's see if we can get it up to where we want it in the camper. I know I have to put one hole, but of course it's not straight. Like, honestly, Starlink, you should have made it straight or something so that you can fit it through small spaces, not this ridiculous L shape. You can see we've got our Apple TV hooked up and able to play movies and everything directly from the satellite, which is pretty cool. At first I thought it wasn't going to work. I was just offline, it was trying to connect and wasn't sure what was happening. One thing to note, because I walked outside and I saw the dish comes kind of upright, and then I had it down, and after I plugged it in, the dish itself will move and adjust itself and move around. It's not the kids out there necessarily playing with it. You don't have to go and yank on it to try to change the direction. The dish itself actually moves. I almost broke ours, I'm sure, thinking that I had to adjust it, but you don't have to. So 100 megabytes down in the middle of the bush. No problem. Now we can work and do everything that we need to do without any issues. So far I'm very happy with it. I'm sure we'll do an update on it as we're traveling over our, tripping and whatnot. But for right now, the setup was really quite easy. Down here, I just ran it through here and then up. And then I've just got it behind the TV over here. That tube that connects our furnace that actually comes up in the bedroom up here, it needs to be some repair on it anyways. So my plan was to put some duct tape on that. Then I'm going to duct tape that pipe that I've got going through to that. And then I'm going to put some pieces all the way around and sort of seal that whole section so that bugs and stuff can't get in. What do you guys think? Are you using Starlink? Do you like it? Have you done a lot of traveling with it? We're excited for using this Starlink for our V because it's said that you can turn it off when you're not using it, when you're at your home base or whatnot. So that's an option for us as well. But the ability to have proper internet when we're on the road is highly appealing to us because that's always been a sore point, and I work remotely for our work and I need that connection. So if we can get that all the time, that means we can do a lot more traveling. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for stopping in. I hope you found this video useful. If you have any comments, any thoughts about Starlink that you want to include below, please go ahead and do that. We'd love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and we will see you in the next video.